So, hello again, everybody. We're back in the messy garage today because the house is busy, as seems to always be. It's odd because technically my wife and I are empty nesters, but we do still have one at home who is barely at home, but occasionally. That will cause a lot going on in the house. So that's what we have today. So we're back in the messy garage. So what I wanted to cover today, I'm doing, by the way, for those of you who follow the channel when I was doing coaching videos, I'm going to get back to doing a few of those right away too. I'm just kind of doing both, and it's, a lot. So what I want to talk about today was your mental state of mind before you start any type of diet or physical fitness change or any of those things. So for me, my opinion is you really need to have a moment where you absolutely hit rock bottom. I mean, rock bottom. It's going to usually be an event where, you thought you were still not that far out of shape or maybe not that big of an issue. Sometimes it's a health condition where, you go to a doctor and your blood pressure is off the charts, or you become pre-diabetic. That happens to a lot of people, and that scares people tremendously. I get that. So if you do become pre-diabetic or any of those things, those are usually rock bottom moments for most people where they're like, holy crap, I need to do something. So for me, this is actually my second time losing over 100 pounds. I want to say it was 10 or 15 years ago. Roughly, for me, that particular time for hitting rock bottom was that my wife and I were staying at one of the local casinos here, at one of the hotels in the casino, and from the hotel to the casino floor is approximately, and I'm guessing there's a little walk bridge and some other stuff, it's maybe 125 yards, maybe. I don't think it's that far, but let's just say it is. I had to stop 3 or 4 times on that walk inside in air conditioning because my back hurt so bad because I had gotten so heavy. Like the pictures I showed in the other video, I looked basically the same then as I did when I started to lose the weight this time. For me, this time, my rock bottom was realizing, I hadn't even noticed how big I had gotten until I realized that, my 48-inch pants weren't fitting, and that I was going to go to a 52 or maybe even a 54 to be comfortable. That was when, for me, it was my rock bottom. So everybody's got a spot mentally where they hit, where they're just like, that's it. Here's my thing. I'm telling you, if you start something, major life change, and you haven't hit that rock bottom spot where that you are mentally just ready, if you haven't gotten there, there's a good chance you won't succeed. And the reason is simple. It's because you're literally mentally not prepared to move forward with what you need to do. So, because most of you that are watching me talk about this, we aren't, people that are, I talked about this once before, keto to me is not really for people that need to lose 10 or 15 pounds. That's my opinion. Again, not a doctor. I point that out every time. Don't take this as medical advice. I'm just a guy. But to me, it's not for people who need to lose 10 or 15 or even 20, maybe 20 pounds. 20 pounds is quite a bit, but I see so many, and I'm going to take flack for this, but so many, housewives or whatnot who need to lose like 5 pounds to get, into a dress for a wedding, and they want to do keto. I'm not saying it won't work. What I'm saying is that keto is really more of a lifestyle, not a diet. You could lose that same 5 pounds by just simply cutting your calorie intake and increasing your exercise just a little bit. I mean, it's 5 or 10 pounds. That can be lost pretty simply on a crash diet because you're probably pretty comfortable where you are. You just want to look better for a short-term situation. You don't need the extremities of keto. Keto is extreme. Because it's really, again, supposed to be a lifestyle. So before you even consider going this direction, first of all, hopefully you know somebody who's already done it, who can help you along the way. Coming to me is watching these videos. I'm going to do everything I can to help you be successful, because I've been pretty successful, so I'd like to pass that along and help as many people as possible to be healthier than they are now. And again, I've talked about that before. The mental state also includes not letting other people either pull you off your diet, letting other people convince you that somehow what you're doing is the wrong thing for you or unhealthy for you. You're the only one that can make that decision, really. Honestly, that's your decision as a human being. You cannot let other people drag you away from what you're doing, especially if it's working. You know, essentially, and you don't got to be an asshole about it. You know, you just, if somebody comes up to you and they're trying to drag down what you're doing, just politely nod your head, walk away, and go on with your life. And keep doing what works for you. Keep fixing you. Again, keto may not work for you. I have seen other people it doesn't work so well for, or that they need to be on strict keto for it to work. That's fine. Whatever that is for you that works, do that, right? But do what works for you, and don't let other people drag you in and out of diets, you know. And again, keto is really a lifestyle. It's not really a diet. So I don't really care for that term. I don't consider it a diet. I've been pretty religiously keto in one form or another. Either, like I said, I live more in the dirty, lazy keto range now because I'm kind of right where I want to be. I mean, there's about 10 pounds I'd still like to lose, but I'm okay with where I'm at. I'm comfortable in my clothing. I look okay in the clothes that I wear. I'm able to work out comfortably and stay active and fit and keep working, all those things. So for me right now, I'm pretty comfortable where I'm at. I'm still under 200 pounds. But yeah, I'd like to have about a 10-pound loss from here. Again, I'm not mentally prepared to do what it takes to cut that next 10 pounds because that's going to be a quite a bit of work. And I'm not mentally ready yet. I haven't come there. I haven't gotten there yet. You know, I will. It'll happen. But for me too, I'm on a time crunch. You know, I mean, I'm almost 52 years old. So, you know, I've got another 7 or 8 years to get in better shape and get the weight off, or I'll get to an age where that's just not going to be possible. It's going to become way too complicated, way too difficult to do. So, you know, if I don't get it done here in a short time frame, then it's not going to happen, and I'm aware of that. So that's what I'm saying, is be aware of you and your mental condition, you and your physical condition, and where you need to be, what you need. And again, I hear a lot of people, I have very little patience for excuses, me personally. I hear it all the time. I see it on different Facebook sites or whatever. Well, how do you possibly do this when you're in a house full of people who don't eat your way? Well, you just do. I did it. Nobody in my house was keto for the first 8 months, 9 months that I was keto. I just did it. I just made a determination and I went with it, and I got it done. You know, I dug in and I made it happen. Is it easier if the whole house is eating your way? Sure. Is it likely? No, it's not. You know, so there's an excuse for everything if you want to make one, right? Or you know, there's hearing the excuse in your mind and then telling yourself that's stupid and just doing what you know is working. So that's all part of mental preparedness and being firmly, truly ready to get in and get yourself healthier. And again, this is kind of less keto and more you. Keto's great for me. Worked really well for me, and I'll do anything I can to help people with it. If you have questions, post them down below. I'll answer to the best of my ability. If I don't have the answer, I usually know, I can usually post a link to someone who can answer that question for you, because I did quite a bit of research before I moved forward on this. I think I had mentioned this before, but I'll mention it one more time. For me, keto was a weight loss was a side effect. I was much more concerned about brain issues. I've had a lot of concussions in my life, and the research that I've done really points that high-fat, low-carb diets are much better for your brain health. And so that was how it started for me, and then moved forward into, it ended up being weight loss. So it's also why when I say mentally ready, this time, ironically, I wasn't all that mentally ready to lose weight. I was mentally ready to try to keep myself from ending up in an Alzheimer's clinic, is really what it comes down to. And that's what, you know, where I went from there on forward. I personally have never had any issues with even pre-diabetes or anything like that. I've always been very lucky with all those things. Other than blood pressure, I've really not had a lot of health concerns. So I never had that issue so much like a lot of other people have to deal with. So again, mentally ready to do it, and most of the time that means a rock bottom scenario. Most of the time, if you haven't hit that bottom out spot, you're probably just not going to be long-term successful. You need that memory back there in the back of your head that says, yeah, remember how terrible that was? We're not doing that again, right? So that's all I really have for today. Just, again, once you do decide to move forward and to do something different with your life, whatever that is, whether it's exercising each day more, or cutting your calories, whatever road you decide to take, I will warn you, calorie deficit dieting can be complicated. I mean, all diets are complicated and difficult. Calorie deficit, when I look at the numbers, like when you do the research, it's a fall off the wagon nightmare. So many people, because the problem is they go too far, like I did. When I lost the first weight 15 years ago, whatever it was, I was doing 1,000 calories a day. I pretty much lived on tuna, coffee, water, and yogurt. I lost weight. I looked good and I felt better. But the minute I stopped eating like that, I just ballooned right back up. So it wasn't a long-term solution. It was a short-term fix that did not hold up. So if you are going to calorie deficit, my recommendation is to not get over the top, not go too far, not try to restrict yourself like I did, because it just simply isn't a long-term fix. Again, so what I enjoy about keto is that I like to eat keto. I enjoy the way I eat. I enjoy what I eat. And for me, it's a long-term solution. So there again, all about that mental preparedness. So have yourself ready to go when you start. Understand that there's going to be distractions, that there's going to be people who shit all over what you're doing. I don't know why people feel the need to do that. I'll never wrap my brain around it. If something's working for somebody else, just be happy for them and wish them a good day and be glad that they're trying to get healthier in some way. So that's my little tidbit for everybody too. Basically, mind your own damn business for the most part, right? I mean, stop poking in on other people, what they're doing. Especially if it's the ones that drive me the most crazy, and then I'm going to cut this, but the ones that drive me the most nuts are the ones that have lost the same 20 pounds, lost and gained the same 20 pounds 900 times in the last 5 years, but they want to tell you how to eat or what's healthy. I'll make you a deal. You lose 50 pounds, keep it off for 3 or 4 years, and then you can come to me and tell me what you think is the right way for me. When you're just up and down constantly because you're doing what we've been told was the right thing for decades. Also, I'm going to get into that in a later video. A lot of the food pyramid we know today was built on research paid for by food companies. Okay, so take that into account when you decide how you want to eat. Those are all factors, right? So again, mental preparedness, being ready, figuring out what your rock bottom is, and know if you hit it. You'll know. I just had a conversation just a few minutes ago, which is what made me decide to go with this. I had already had this topic picked out. I wasn't going to do it right away. There's someone I know personally who is attempting now to maybe get in a little bit better shape, at least, even if they don't change their diet per se. And on a what was should have been a very minor workout was taxing, incredibly taxing, which was a wake-up call for that person. So, and that's what made me kind of go this direction on this video today. So that's really all I got. Like I said, just ignore the naysayers. Anybody wants to push you around or talk shit on what you're doing, well, they're not really probably your friend or really looking out for you, right? So if it's working for you and you're happy and they think that it's somehow bad for you, well, then you need to question their motives. And are they really looking out for you? Do they really care about you? Because personally, I don't care what a friend of mine is doing if it makes them happy. I mean, regardless of, other than if they're somehow harming other people, then that's different. But if you're doing something for you that makes you happy and it's making you feel better about you, then I literally could not care less about what you're doing, other than I'm happy for you. So that is also part of this video, is let people be themselves and let them do what they want to do. And if you don't like what it is they're doing, well, tough shit. It's not your life. So that's all I got. Mental preparedness. Be ready. Understand that it's hard. It's a big life change. You're changing everything. If you're gonna try to lose more than 50 pounds, it's a huge life change. It's a big deal. And it's going to take a lot for you to do it, and it's not going to be simple. It's not going to be quick. Always remember, another thing I love to tell people, let's say you're 45 years old, this is the first time you're really going to take weight loss seriously. It took you 45 years to get that fat. You're not going to lose it in a week or even in a month, right? It's going to take you a while to get that off. It took you a long ass time to get there. It's going to take you a long-ass time to get back. Okay? So, that's all for this week. See you guys next week. And like I said, just keep working. You'll get there.